Nikki, would you like to introduce this one?
I really would, because this one is amazing.
Yeah, really good.
First of all, it's titled Boundaries, of which Kirk has none. The Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service, MPTS, in the UK, on January 10th, removed the medical license from Simon Bramall.
Used to be the bass player for the Zombies.
Yeah. A transplant surgeon at Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, the Washington Post reported. The action stemmed from an incident in 2013 in which, after finishing up a transplant, Dr. Bramhall used an electric beam to burn his initials into the patient's liver before closing her up.
What?
That is hot.
Wow.
The flourish might not have been discovered, but the liver began to fail the following week, and another surgeon discovered the signature. Okay, first of all, I would give anything to be that surgeon. Like, what the fuck is this? And like, first of all, there's no way that the signature stayed intact, like it was legible, or I mean,
who
it
in the
probably
hell
just
is
looked
SB?
right. Or what if he just put like a little, drawing of like a cock and balls?
Right,
Like, that's what I would do.
He had a little insignia.
Yeah,
an
like
S
his little
inside a B.
Yeah, his little thing.
Like
anyway,
the Santa Barbara Dragons.
Yep.
Yeah, just like that.
Whoever they are. Bramall said at the time it was something he did to relieve stress during long, difficult operations. In 2017, he was convicted of assault and fined about $13,000. In 2021, he submitted a letter arguing that he was again fit to practice. Thank God. But the latest ruling has denied him the right to do so, noting that his actions undermined people's trust in the medical profession. Okay.
I don't think that's true at all.
I think that's bullshit. Washington Post. Really? What was his name again?
His name was Simon Bramhall.
Of course. Everyone in England is named Simon.
Bramhall.
Isn't that true?
I do want to know, like, when, okay, you're a transplant surgeon, when exactly are you completely alone in the operating room? You're like, you know what, nurses, anesthesia, I'd like you to leave the room. Can I have the room for a minute? I just want to be alone with this body that we just transplanted the gallbladder in. And then he, can you turn on the laser on your way out? Thank you so much. Thank you. I just want a little time alone with the body.
I feel like Kirk has thought about this before. You know what? I'm just going to leave that for a second, because I was actually just talking to a friend of mine who is a doctor, and he said surgeons are going to be like the next Me Too, because apparently they're incredibly abusive in the operating room.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
they're so stressed out. But they're like physically and verbally abusive to the poor techs and
each other.
Which is why I'm telling you, I don't believe a tech would have spoken up when he saw her or she saw him
sizzling away,
tagging this woman's liver. Yeah. Oh, I wonder if it was like his gang. Like, yeah.
He's like, hey, Debbie, look at that. Check that out. You see them right there? Mm-hmm. She's like, doctor, maybe you shouldn't do that. He's like, maybe I shouldn't do this either. Honk.
She would never even say that. She would just get berated for handing him the wrong can of spray paint.
Yep. There's definitely a very locker room atmosphere in those operating theaters.
100%.
Yeah.
Why are they called theaters?
Because you're putting on a little show for everybody. You got your costume on. There's like, you have props. And you're just in there. It's like a little show.
That's terrifying.
I think that they call it the theater because in teaching hospitals, they used to have it was like you were on the stage more or less and surrounded in an auditorium by
Right.
medical students who were watching you perform the operation.
We didn't ever find out if she survived the liver failure, or if they were able to erase his tag from her liver.
I doubt it. I think that only goes one way with the lasering. It's
Also,
probably not coming off.
Oh,
but,
wait.
the good news is he's like, I could transplant that if you want. Listen, I'm just saying, yes, I might have been the cause of the liver failure, but I'm right here. I've already done this. I'd like to have the room just for a moment so that I could be alone with the body for it. No, we don't. We're not going to fall for that anymore. It's a good one.
I mean, that is just, I don't, a lot of people like to relieve stress in different ways, but
usually they relieve that, like all doctors, with alcohol and drugs.
Right.
That's what doctors do.
Right.
They're out of their minds.
Of course. You have to be. But
you should see the amount of medication that my dad takes and has prescribed virtually all on his own for himself.
Can I get his number?
It's not like narcotics. There's no, none of that. It's just
Can he still prescribe medicine?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely.
So after we're done with this, can you
He's got his own apothecary going on there.
Fine.
And he's just like, got the cholesterol, got the statins, got the
don't want any
got
of
the
that
this,
stuff.
got the antibiotics in case, and blah, 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 blah. Like he just carries around this giant Ziploc bag of pills.
Ooh.
Yeah. But doctors are notoriously huge alcoholics. and
Yeah,
drug
they are. I
addicts.
mean, listen, that's stressful, man. You either have a God complex or you are just really stressed out that you're going to lose a patient on the table. And so naturally, your inclination is to put your name on their liver. Like that Terrence Trent D'Arby song. Sign your name across my liver. See what I did there?
Do you remember how that one goes?
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. No, it's better if I sing it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because then we won't get sued.
Yeah.
Bum 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 bum.
By TTD.
Bum bum bum.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I think that might have been over our time with the song there.
I
But
think-
yeah,
What did they say? It undermined their confidence, people's confidence in the medical system.
yeah, that was the first time anyone was ever on the fence about like,
They're like, well, why don't we put these leeches on your body and see how you do then?
yeah, totally,
Really?
totally.
This doesn't really seem like a great idea.
Never. I don't know. I'm glad he made it back into the OR and was able to maybe sign a few.
I
more
wonder what
organs.
Simon Bramhall is doing these days.
SB.
Yeah.
His
Because
initials,
he's
right?
not allowed to he doesn't have a medical license anymore, so what is he doing? He's just repaving tennis courts in his off time.
Oh, I would love to. Oh, see, it's too bad they didn't show us the letter he submitted arguing that he was again fit to practice. Like, I'm so sorry.
Look,
I have learned my lesson.
I feel really bad about what I did.
Right.
I should not have straight up tagged that poor girl's liver.
I put a
and
whiteboard in the OR. Now I will just write my name on the whiteboard
I will
when
submit.
I feel stressed.
Maybe you could have, like a chaperone with me at all times to make sure that I don't laser zap anybody else's organs on the inside of their body.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
write, Simon Bramhall was here, like on their kidneys.
Everyone deserves a second chance.
I think they do.
Everybody.
I would feel just fine having my aorta replaced by
fine.
Simon Bramhall.
Totally fine. Totally fine.
And if you want to tag me, you can do it on the outside of my body. How about that?
That's a tattoo.
I mean, there's so many other ways to reduce stress than by lasering your initials onto someone's internal organs.
Which is kind of like branding, actually.
Brandon.
Branding.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Brandon.
He didn't write Brandon. He wrote Bramhole.
That was branded from the Big Lebowski. Brandon.
Was there a Brandon in that? No. I don't
No,
think
it
there
was the show that the guy in the Iron Lung had written.
Oh.
Arthur Digby Sellers. What?
Oh. What?
Okay, anyway.
Okay, wow.
Moving on. Like what you hear, you can listen to more episodes everywhere podcasts are distributed, and you can also find us on the web at newsoftheweirdpodcast.com.